goes unchanged. And so the point being is the Alien Enemies Act has been invoked 4 times in our nation's history: War of 1812, Civil War, World War I, World War II. And I believe totally appropriately invoked here. It's been enjoined by the Supreme Court right now, so we'll find out its future. But when you have 15 million people come into your country in a span of 4 years, that is definitionally an invasion.
Kirk completely wrecks this secret agent, office worker, Matrix cosplayer gentleman right here when it comes to it deporting illegal immigrants. Now, obviously, this guy, being a brainwashed liberal, is coming to defend Abrego Garcia, the MS-13 gang member that got rightfully deported out of here. Just like all these other libtards, he is here to defend that man, and Charlie Kirk has to set him straight. Someone has to do it, or else these people are just going to be going around defending criminals all day and night. So let's see Charlie Kirk set this gentleman straight.
That I think you and I would both agree on first. I'm sure.
Look what this dude's wearing. Is he really wear that to school? Is he going to a class on how to dress like a secret agent or something? Or going to a Matrix themed party, costume party or something? Like, what is this?
Like our Constitution. I'm sure you're a big fan of our Bill of Rights, the habeas corpus, inclusion in the before even the Bill of Rights in the Constitution itself. When we look at the current league of deportations that's happening, particularly when it predates to Kilmar Abrego Garcia, right? He is a man who hasn't had his due process. He never had his day in court.
That's not true. You know that he spent 4 years in court from 2017 to 2021. In fact, so much so that the judge even ruled on his immigration status, saying that he could be deported at any time for any reason.
That court order actually lapsed, so it wasn't valid at the time of his deportation. If we want to go through these, we need people to have their habeas corpus rights. We need people to have the ability to show up in court and actually exemplify their, have their case be heard in front of a judge, be heard by a jury of their jury of their peers, pardon, and have a chance to be.
Okay, but again, I've done this so many times. Let me just pause, and I don't mean to pick on you. How hard the left is fighting for this MS-13 scumbag is just remarkable to me. It's like I'm not trying to pick on you. Let me make a broad statement. He could be the
worst person in the world. He could be an absolute scumbag.
Is he a U.S. citizen?
No.
Oh, that actually.
Yeah, it's so wild to me. Like, TDS is real. Like, this anti-Trump, orange man bad rhetoric. It's so terrible. It's gotten people to believe, like, we just need to defend these people, these criminals, these people who broke the law. We can't ship them out of here. No, they don't have to follow the laws to come in here. But to get them out, oh, well, now the laws need to be followed. Even though the laws have been followed, there's been no laws that have been broken to ship out Abrego Garcia. The left just wants to throw out this narrative that, like, oh yeah, Trump is just like rounding people up and then just deporting them back illegally or something. He's not doing anything illegal.
Changes things.
It does, absolutely.
And so,
but it does not change
due process. Yes, it does. The Alien Enemies Act says you do. That's not correct.
Okay.
The Alien Enemies Act says you do not have to give due process to those that you are deporting. It is not correct. So they invoked the Alien Enemies Act.
What does it take to invoke that act?
And signature from the President of the United States to say that you are being invaded by a foreign power or assisted by a certain force on enemy ground.
Correct.
He was part of MS-13, which is a paramilitary arm of the Venezuelan government.
So, but in order to enact that act, don't we need a war declaration?
Oh, yeah. No, that's what he did on day one. He said that we're being invaded.
Does he have that power?
Yes.
I thought that was a congressionally approved thing.
No, that's not correct. The President of the United States has an ability within a 90-day emergency clause window to say that we are being invaded by a special power. It's called the War Powers Act of 1990-something. The War Powers Act gives the President the authority for 90 to 100 days to declare that we are being invaded. And we have been invaded, by the way, by MS-13 and Tren de Aragua. It's a material fact.
Considering, one of the things that's super important when we consider law is the spirit of the law. And do we really believe that these laws were enacted with the spirit in mind of gangs being associated as arms of a state?
Potentially.
MS-13 and Tren de Aragua are not Venezuelan arms. They're not.
No, MS-13 is. That's not correct. But let me throw it back at you. MS-13 is El Salvadorian and also Venezuela. Yeah, Tren de Aragua is Venezuela. MS-13 is El Salvadorian. He signed Declaration of Invasions against both. But let me challenge you on this, because you're coming after this in good faith. was the First Amendment written in the spirit of Facebook posts?
Can you clarify a little bit?
The First Amendment,
Yeah.
part of the Bill of Rights, ratified in 1791, was it written in the spirit that it shall apply to tweets?
Not to private corporations.
Well, no, meaning like, do your free speech rights apply also to the internet?
So it applies to public squares. The question that we're having now is Facebook a public square? Are Twitter public squares?
It's a separate issue. The issue is that we would all agree that you have a First Amendment right to express yourself and the government can't throw you in prison regardless of where you have it. Whether you write a newspaper op-ed or whether you do a Facebook post, right? You have a First Amendment right to do that. The point being is you say, well, the spirit of the law in 1798, it doesn't matter if a law is old. It matters what moral claim is the law trying to make, because times sort of change, but people do not. Human nature goes unchanged. And so the point being is the Alien Enemies Act has been invoked 4 times in our nation's history: War of 1812, Civil War, World War I, World War II. And I believe totally appropriately invoked here. It's been enjoined by the Supreme Court right now, so we'll find out its future. But when you have 15 million people come into your country in a span of 4 years, that is definitionally an invasion.
Yep. Definitionally an invasion. Charlie Kirk is absolutely correct. And why these people are fighting so hard, tooth and nail, to try to keep these people in here, it's insane to me. You know, it's funny, like the Democrats, like these lefties, libtards, whatever you want to call them, they weren't so, like, now they're all about the law. You know, but my due process. Oh, but my free speech. Now all of a sudden they care about these issues, but they seem to only care about these issues when it comes to people who aren't citizens here, like Abrego Garcia, like Mahmoud, whatever his face is. People that actually aren't citizens here, that's when they care about the Constitution and the laws and stuff. That's who they fight for. The left doesn't give a damn about American citizens. And if they do, they have a funny way of showing it.
I guess an invasion requires a certain commitment from a state, right? It's a big difference between an invasion and an immigration wave is whether there's a state operating.
Or a force. The cartels, man. The cartels operate like a state. The cartels are the reason that a lot of these people are able to make it up to the border. They pay money to the cartels. The cartels are using drones. They're using speedboats. They're using helicopters. The cartels act like a government. In fact, the cartels run the Mexican government. The Sinaloa drug cartel is more powerful than the Mexican Mexican government.
I would agree with labeling the...
They're so powerful, in fact, that they have like their own, like, not military, but they could actually fight against the military. It's not like, oh, they could just go wipe out the Sinaloa or what have you. Like the Sinaloa actually have like armor, like these weapons. Like whenever like the Mexican government does try to crack down on these cartels, it's not easy. It's like an actual war within their country. It's insane.
Terrorist organizations, I think they have the funding, they operate, they have such, but there's a key distinction between a government entity and a terrorist organization.
Hold on a second. We declared war on Al Qaeda.
Yeah.
What government was Al Qaeda?
We can declare war on terrorist organizations.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. So, if we signed the Alien Enemies Act against Al Qaeda, it would have been perfectly fair and appropriate, obviously. And Al Qaeda is not a government. What I'm saying, though, is that the cartels, the MS-13 and Tren de Aragua, they are being supported by governments. They're harbored in governments. The Alien Enemies Act, of course, applies to them. These are enemies here on the mainland of America doing harm. Okay. And Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13. He was a wife beater, a child abuser, here illegally. He had a deportation notice on his head, and now he's back in his country of El Salvador, and we should be happy that he's home.
So, I can grant you that he might be all these things. It does not mean that he doesn't get a day in court.
But as a non-U.S. citizen, though, the Alien Enemies Act allow us to expeditiously remove him. It's just the way it works. I mean,
no, you're right, but
and now that's not the case.
We can argue whether that was a correct invocation, right?
But that's irrelevant. The Supreme Court has now said no more, so there will be no more. But in that specific case, nothing was done illegally. The only argument you might have is that the judge says you could deport him anywhere except El Salvador. So we probably should have just like deported him to, I don't know, the Congo, and everyone would have been happier. Hilariously, they said, oh, he's in a foreign jail. No, he's not in a foreign jail. He's an El Salvadorian in his own country. He's not an American. If he would have went to Gitmo, that would have been a foreign jail.
Yeah. Okay. And then, let's see.
Thank
I
you.
think that's it for me. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Could I ask you for a red hat?
Yes,
sign?
absolutely. Thank
Well, okay. Well, I guess I'll go about my day then after my ass whooping. Go back to my Matrix office job or whatever the hell it is, my secret agent Matrix office job that I do here at the campus. But yeah, absolutely. And the thing is too is that the president of El Salvador, Bukele, like he could like let him out in El Salvador if he wants to. He's the one in charge of that prison. He could just let him out if this dude was really some innocent man. But even Bukele knows, like, no, these guys are criminals. These guys are MS-13. You need to be locked away. No one wants to talk about Bukele. Everyone just wants to blame it on Trump. I'll give this guy credit. At least it seemed like he tried to argue. At least it seemed like he was arguing in good faith. He's just a little bit, ignorant on this whole topic. Brainwashed by the media liberal talking points. And now that he has challenged and been thoroughly debunked, now he must be on his way. How did you guys think about what Charlie Kirk had to say today? How do you think he did? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Give this video a like if you liked it. And if you really liked it, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate that a lot. If you like seeing Charlie Kirk do his thing on college campuses, I got a whole playlist for you on the screen that you could click away and enjoy, as well as a channel full of debates like this on politics and even religion that I think you will enjoy.